Part of the concern is the agenda, especially tax reform, and how it could be stalled. And not just stalled, but perhaps stalled permanently. As you look at the situation playing out now, what are you thinking?
Well, our thoughts are that we probably will see something from the Gang of Six in September in terms of tax reform and specific provisions, and that should really get the juices going, especially in Congress. But certainly with the president, interesting tweets and certainly all the scandals and such in Washington, it does complicate things for the White House. It makes it much more difficult for the president to advance his agenda.
Does it ultimately, Alan, make a difference? Is this just noise that the media consumes? We go back and forth with the president, or is it actually making a difference, for example, as Dana was talking about, in the likelihood of tax reform this year?
Well, if you look at what's going on in the markets have been fantastic. You have a market that keeps going up in spite of the risk of nuclear war, the civil unrest, stagnation in the legislation. So we have a very strong market supported by central banks, and I think that, of course, it makes a difference, but the markets seem pretty resilient, and we have to ask ourselves why.
Why?
So I think a lot of it has to do with the central bank intervention. And I think that you have a Federal Reserve and global central banks that aren't so anxious to take away the punch bowl. Even under the terms of the normalization policy, you have a Federal Reserve that's going to take away a punch bowl and put stronger alcohol in, because the process of normalization, the process of rejiggering the balance sheet, includes buying bonds for quite a long time.
Well, buying bonds for quite a long time is one thing, but there were many people in this market that were waiting for some serious reform down in Washington, D.C. And quite clearly the actions do matter, because last week we had a sell-off on the back of some heightened tensions and some very bad miscommunication on both sides between North Korea and the United States. It still matters to many people.
Yeah, and I think that the question is, can the president get his tax agenda going? Can he move that legislation forward? And I think the markets are telling you that they believe that corporate taxation, for instance, is something that's still doable. In spite of everything you're seeing and the noise and the rhetoric, there is a possibility that we have real tax reform, substantial tax reform. We have a Republican House, a Republican Senate, a Republican executive. And that's a recipe for good things.